Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 117 of my brand new Comics Haul series, and it's been a minute. I was away for a couple weeks. I was out in Japan, so I just got back yesterday. I'm still feeling pretty jet lagged, just trying to get back into the swing of things and get rid of this tiredness, but I did make it to my LCS yesterday, right? So I got 2 weeks worth of books that were waiting for me once I got back. I've got 11 issues to show you guys, so I'll probably go through these kind of quickly, not spend quite as long on each issue as I usually do. But yeah, I hope you guys have all been doing well since I've been gone. I took a little bit of a break, but I hope all of your summers have been going well and everything. I thought I'd start with this like souvenir that I got in Japan though. I wanted to get some sort of original American comic reprinted because I don't really know what the deal is with that in Japan, but I got this Japanese issue of Spawn, which I think is number 7. I couldn't tell if that was a 1 or a 7, but whatever, I picked it up, right? It was like very cheap, so I don't think this is worth too much necessarily, even though it's an old issue. We've got like a Todd McFarlane picture on the side for some reason, so I'll just open this up and see what the actual deal is. Yeah, mostly just like manga and stuff in any sort of comic shops that we stopped by over there. So it was nice to be able to find something that reminded me of the US a little bit. Let's see here. And this issue feels a little bit thick. I don't know what the deal is. If it's like many issues reprinted in Japanese or whatever the deal might be. If you guys have any sort of collections of like reprints in other languages, I feel like that's pretty cool. You never hear that much about it. So some sort of little slipcase in the side here. Let's just try to get this off. But a picture of Todd McFarlane for whatever reason. I think that's actually stuck on there. Oh no, okay. So there's that. And it's got like a briefcase. I don't know what you call it, a slipcase, right? It's got one of these. This is kind of crazy. It's like a cardstock cover. Let's look inside though. It looks like it's just issues of Spawn. So I don't know. This is probably number 7 or something. I have read up to this point in English, but yeah. I don't know. There's like cards and stuff in here. So this is reminding me a lot of old comics when they used to send mailing cards and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, kind of a cool souvenir to have. Obviously I can't read it, but that's that. Let's actually get into the real comics though. I just wanted to show you guys that. But let's start with some of the big releases that I missed while I was gone, right? So from Marvel Comics, first of all, we've got Ultimate Invasion number 1. This is that big one we've all been waiting for. I made a video on it, but we recently got this announcement that this series is going to be leading into a new Ultimate Universe. So there's this one shot called Ultimate Universe that's coming out after this miniseries is over. That's leading into some sort of like new age, a new version of the Ultimate Universe that like works on that idea of the modern age of superheroes, right? Like everything that took place in the origins of all the Marvel heroes that we know of. What if that all took place in the modern day, and how would that look differently? Because that was kind of what the original Ultimate Universe was all about. So yeah, we'll see how Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch work this in, how they actually end up getting back to that point and how they end up recrafting this new universe or whatever. I'm kind of excited. I mean, I haven't read that much Ultimate Universe stuff, so it's not as like near and dear to my heart as it probably is for some of you guys. So yeah, crazy looking artwork in here. Not sure exactly what they're planning for this, but really big, kind of expensive first issue here. So we'll see. That's Ultimate Universe number 1, Ultimate Invasion number 1. And then the biggest new ongoing series release was Incredible Hulk number 1, right? So we've got Philip Kennedy Johnson writing this book, Nick Klein in the artwork, really good creative team. So I've got high hopes for this new series. But the idea is that it's the age of monsters, and it's kind of going back to the horror that Immortal Hulk worked with, which I thought worked really well. So I'm kind of glad they're going in that direction again after the dumpster fire that was Donny Cates' run, right? There was a lot going on in that, and I think it got a little bit rough at the end, and it just was very strange in retrospect to Immortal Hulk, right? Some people liked it, some people thought it was its own thing, which I didn't think it was terrible, but I just think I'm just glad that we're kind of going back to the roots of what made Immortal Hulk so good, and hopefully kind of working into its own new thing as well. But yeah, creepy looking artwork by Nick Klein in here. This looks a little bit different than what he was doing on Thor, but yeah, so we'll see about this, and I'll be curious to see how the series continues to be in the future, but yeah, just got to give this first issue a try first, right? Next up, though, we've got the last couple issues of this event that I missed out on the finale of while I was gone. But we've got Miles Morales Spider-Man number 7. This is Carnage Reigns, part 6. I haven't read part 5 yet, I don't think either, because I was packing before, as that one was coming out. But yeah, this event so far has been okay. I've been kind of enjoying it. It wasn't really what I expected, though. Because with like a 7-part event that crosses over between 3 different series, right, and like the Alpha and Omega issues, I was kind of expecting something a little bit bigger, like bigger scope on the lines of Absolute Carnage or something on that level, but it's been pretty street level so far. We've just got the Carnage symbiote version of Cletus Cassidy, right? He's like on his own without the symbiote, but he's still able to shapeshift into different forms. He's working with this like abandoned Iron Man armor, so it looks like Iron Man is actually involved here to some extent to take down Carnage. And then we've got like Red Goblin, Miles Morales also involved, but it's just like set in New York City, so don't expect anything too crazy here, but it's just kind of like a road stop, a pit stop for Carnage, right? Because there's something bigger that they're leading to with like Death of the Venomverse and with the new Carnage series, Web of Carnage, that's coming out, right? With that other Carnage still going around the multiverse. So yeah, I mean, pretty good event. It's nothing that crazy. I'd say it's honestly pretty skippable so far. But if you're buying Miles Morales, if you're buying Carnage or Red Goblin, it's worth reading because it's been pretty decent so far. And yeah, I'll just skim over this. We've also got Carnage Reigns Omega here. Show some of the interior artwork. And yeah, Cody Ziegler so far, I've really loved his Miles Morales run, and it looks like he alone wrote the last couple parts of this, even though there was also a guest writer on some of the Carnage issues, and they worked together to make the event, right? So yeah, interesting looking artwork. We'll see. Yeah, just a little mini event, and it wasn't really what I was expecting, but I've still been enjoying it so far. Next up, though, we've got a couple of Marvel's biggest team books. This next one is Avengers #2. I'm not sure how many people picked up that first issue. It was probably a pretty big release, right? But I really loved it. I thought it worked well kind of transitioning after Jason Aaron's Avengers run and like acknowledging all the crazy multiversal stuff that happened in that, but leading into what's this new team, right? We've got a lot of the same members along with like new additions like Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Vision and Scarlet Witch, but also some of the same ones. And I thought that first issue, like nothing that much happened, but it just did a good job of like introducing every single character. Captain Marvel's the new head of the team, right? So it's literally just showed her explaining why she thought each new member would be a good fit, and assembling every single one of them. And now we've got them taking down this threat in the first issue, which is leading into the introduction of Kang, right? He's going to be playing a big part in this. And I think we're also supposed to get some follow-up on that thing from the Timeless one-shot last year. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it had something to do with a missing moment in time that Kang was trying to find that he couldn't, right? Something that was like stumping Kang for the first time in his existence. And yeah, we'll see where this leads. So Avengers #2, I like Jason Aaron's finale to that run, but I think Jed McKay's the perfect writer to continue that on because he's one of my favorites in comics right now. Hoping that that series continues to be good. But next up, another team book from Marvel. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy #3. This one has also been alright so far. Like, really interesting concept, right? So the Guardians are really disheveled. They're not at all what they used to be at the end of the last run, where they're like, you know, guarding the universe. They had uniforms. They're more of an organization. Now it's just a band, not even the full complete Guardians of like, it's Mantis, Drax, Gamora, Peter Quill, and Nebula, right? So like Rocket isn't there. Groot is now this weird universe-conquering like species, kind of like Galactus was, where he goes around and burns down worlds. We don't know how he got there, but the whole thing is called Grootfall. The artwork in here is interesting. It's not really too realistic. It's definitely a little bit cartoonish, but I think that's just Kev Walker's style, right? Good coloring and everything, so it's definitely a little bit different than some just like the general Marvel Comics artwork, I'd say, but it's working pretty well for like the whole Grootfall idea. I'd say he draws that really well. And I think we're supposed to get an explanation behind everything in issue #6. I think that's the one that they just solicited. Cool artwork right here, I'll say that much. But yeah, so we'll see about this. Guardians are just trying to take down Groot or somehow subdue him because he's now like this Galactus conquering level being. Not sure what the explanation is behind that, but we'll see. That's Guardians #3. Next up, a finale to a series that's dropped off a little bit, in my opinion. It's Thor #35. So Donny Cates kind of screwed over Marvel by just, you know, stopping writing both of his series. I'm not sure. I think it had something to do with some sort of personal problems. I'm sure there's a good explanation for it. But he stopped writing Thor, he stopped writing Hulk, so they're just relaunching both of those series. This is the last issue of this Thor series, and then they're doing Immortal Thor in a couple months with Al Ewing coming on, right? So good Nick Klein cover there. He's not drawing this issue, but he did do the covers for the rest of the series at least. And Torunn Grønbekk has been the new writer, right? She's taken over and just tried to wrap up all the loose threads of Donny Cates' run with Thanos and that gauntlet that he used to hold the Infinity Stones and that vision of the future that Thor saw. So it really seems like her wrapping up those storylines at least a little bit or giving them an explanation at the end of this means that Donny Cates will never follow up with that, unfortunately. And it's probably just a loose thread that'll never get fully told. So it's kind of a disappointment because that seemed really cool, but yeah, kind of confusing, honestly. I think that's the biggest problem. It's very wordy. It really goes into like Asgardian mythological history, so it's not my favorite. But hopefully this issue will wrap up all those threads well enough because something had to happen, right? They had to end the run so that the next person could come on. Next up, another one from Marvel. We've got Deadpool. This is number 8. This is also a really good series. It's just been working with this idea that Deadpool wants to join the special cult of assassins, but he failed their original mission that they gave him to see if he was worthy, right? And since then, they've been coming after him, trying to assassinate him. He's got this love interest with one of the members of that cult who seems to have other plans for him secretly. So, it's a pretty simple series. Honestly, it's just a fun read. It's very funny. I think Alyssa Wong does a great job writing this series, and this looks like some sort of dream sequence or something like that. I do feel like the artwork on this book has been kind of a step down from the original artist, but that guy is moving on to Thor, right? So we don't have him on here anymore. But I still recommend this. Like, honestly, I've been really enjoying this series, and it's pretty lighthearted, so give it a try. That's Deadpool number 8. Next up, though, we've got another series from Marvel that's also pretty lighthearted. They've got a couple of good ones now. I feel like Miles is also kind of a series like that. That just not too serious. You can't expect anything like really multiversal or anything universal that's like a world-conquering threat or anything. It's just a fun series to read, right? So this is She-Hulk 14. It also follows kind of a simple formula like Deadpool, where we've just got, Jen Walter's life. She's an attorney again. She's working at this new office. She's got the love interest with Jack of Hearts, but now in this new storyline, we've got this new villain who she has like kind of a love-hate relationship with, who's here. I guess they're just meeting each other in regular clothes or whatever. So I don't know what the deal is with him, but I'm still getting it every month. It's usually a pretty light read. It's usually not too wordy or anything, but the character interactions are done really well, and I think the writer of this does a really good job with dialogue. So it's a good series. I do recommend it, following She-Hulk's life, and it's been good so far. So that's number 14. Next up, though, I've got a couple Image Comics issues to end off the haul. This next one is probably the biggest Image series out right now, but this is World Tree number 3. So I've heard that this issue gives us a couple more answers. The first couple issues were very mysterious, but we've got this woman who's pictured on the cover there who is some sort of like facet of the internet in real life, right? Part of this World Tree virus that this group of like engineers designed in the past. So we see them like getting back together to try to take it down because it's come back somehow as like one of the storylines of this book. And then we've got this brother investigating like a killing spree that his little brother went on like as a result of looking at the World Tree virus or something. So there's definitely a lot of mystery surrounding this, but it very much has to do with like the internet and how it can affect people in some sort of virus. The artwork has been interesting so far. Sometimes it's like really darkly colored and dimly lit, so they're really experimenting with different art styles and colors a lot in this series, and it's been pretty good so far. James Tynion is obviously also a really good dialogue writer. That's one of his biggest traits. He's really good at character building throughout series, and a lot of eyes on him whenever he comes out with a new series like this, so that's why it's been selling so well. But that's World Tree number 3. Next up, though, one of Image Comics' longest running series. This is Saga number 65 we're on now. So this is my favorite character, actually, of the whole series, is Lion Cat on the cover there. And I don't have too much to say about this. I mean, probably most of you guys have read Saga, but, it follows Hazel, who's the daughter of this, like, crossbreed alien species. They're at war with each other, so both governments want her taken out. So she's been hunted her entire life and gotten into lots of situations with all of the supporting cast. And right now we've got a storyline where they've been like working on this moon, I think, with like shipping containers. The idea right now, though, is just that Alana's a single mom. She's trying to deal with Hazel and her brother at once, and they're usually low on money trying to move around. And Alana's trying to get this new job as like part of a pirate ship of some sort. I always have trouble like remembering exactly what's going on month to month, especially because they usually have these 6-month breaks in between storylines, so it's kind of hard to remember. Honestly, I feel like this might be better read in like a trade paperback format, but yeah, I've still been liking it. So that's Saga number 65, and those were all the issues that I picked up for those couple weeks that I was gone. I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this new video, sticking with the new Comics Haul series, and let me know what you guys enjoyed for those couple weeks, which issues were your favorite, whether Ultimate Invasion and Hulk were any good. Those are the ones I'm looking forward to reading the most. And that's about it. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday in a few days. A little bit of a weird in-between haul here. I don't usually post them on, I guess it's Sunday today. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a few days for number 118. And until then, thanks for watching. Bye, guys.